We begin today's event with the NHRDN Code of Conduct. I request everybody to kindly arise to go through the reading. 1986 is the national apex body of professionals committed to promoting the HRD movement in the country through education, training, research, experience sharing, and networking. NHRDN, through its 30 chapters spread across India, plays a pivotal role in learning and knowledge sharing and in grooming leaders for tomorrow by facilitating professional development. NHRDN has conceptualized the L&D Summit with a similar endeavor of breaking conventional barriers of learning and development. Hence, our theme for this year of 5A learning, which is anywhere, anytime, any content, any device, and anyone. May I now request Mr. Kamal Singh to deliver the welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Manasi. Distinguished keynote speaker, Mr. Prabir Jha, Global Chief People Officer, Cipla Limited, our National President, NHRDN, Mr. K. Ram Kumar, Mr. Anand Pillai, Managing Director, Leadership Matters, and our own Summit Director, distinguished speakers. I see our own veteran from Bombay, Mr. Dhananjay Bansod, Emmanuel David, and many other speakers who have just joined in. My colleague Dhananjay, Harinder Nandan, participants, jury, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is indeed a pleasure and privilege to welcome you all at the inaugural session of this two-day summit on learning and development on the theme 5A learning, anywhere, anytime, any content, any device, anyone, being held this morning. Your overwhelming response, your testimony, not only the relevance of the theme in today's fast-changing landscape, but also demonstrate your own interest to update yourself how learning has evolved in all these years. Thank you very much for joining us in large numbers. Now, I would like to welcome our own distinguished keynote speaker, Mr. Prabir Jha. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Prabir Jha really doesn't need any introduction. If I have to say, with his permission, he is truly an eminent thought leader, someone who has not only inspired his team, but the profession as well, someone who finds time to contribute beyond business, especially in sharing the insight that he has developed over the years. And to me personally, he has been a friend, philosopher, and guide from Dr. Rabbit Laboratories. In several occasions, whenever I have sought his time, he has always encouraged me whatever we could do on the platform of NHRDN all these years. Ladies and gentlemen, please do join me in welcoming Prabir by a big round of applause, please. Thank you very much, Prabir. And NHRDN is really proud of having you here, and we look up to your keynote address as we move on. Now, I would like to welcome our own National President, Mr. K. Ram Kumar. Ladies and gentlemen, again, Ram is someone, personally, if I have to today confess, to whom I really see whatever code of conduct today you heard, imbibing whatever, and we are really proud to have him as National President. And personally, the kind of initiative that he has asked us to launch on the NHRDN platform, you will see, you just saw the glimpse of what we talked about: Agora, NHRDN app, NHRDN membership totally revamped, or Expert Connect, or certifications, HRscape, all largely due to his consistent, persistent, and I am sure all of have now seen the light of the day, and they're all catching up, and you will see much more happening on NHRDN platform in the years to come. And also to me, I know Ram from several decades, I would say, and he takes a lot of interest in not only contributing wherever he finds time to share his insight. Today, if you see his special address on this theme, it will be another treat listening to him. Ladies and gentlemen, again, may I request you to please join me in welcoming Ram as a thought leader by a big round of applause, please. Now, ladies and gentlemen, has been one of our strongest pillar of NHRDN. Whenever we ask him to lead CHRO Power Breakfast meeting or lead a summit like this or be part of the core committee, he has so much affection for the profession. At his own time and cost, he spared that moment. Yesterday only evening when we were at the hotel, he said what I can do to make this summit more meaningful and truly rewarding for the participants. I am not going to add any adjective to his commitment and sincerity in not only designing this summit, but also delivering in the next 1.5 days. You will yourself see it and experience it. His connect with all of you will be as such, you will truly enjoy. So may I request him, as a matter of our privilege, to welcome him by a big round of applause, please. Thank you, Anand, for really supporting NHRDN. Now, you have already heard what NHRDN is all about. NHRDN, apart from several initiatives that you saw a few minutes ago on the screen, we also believe in building capability. If you see our basket of activities, right from webinar, right from the workshop, or even CHRO roundtable, or summit like this, or conferences, it is one important the verticals which contributes enhancing the effectiveness of managerial pool of India's. And I'm happy to see your response this morning. And again, this topic that we have decided will give you a new insight, what is 5-way learning. So with those words, I wanted to first thank all of our speakers who have come from all over India, rather I would say, to be part of this at their own time and efforts. And they will be able to add so much value to the session by having some panel discussions. One of the insight which Anand had this time has added to this summit, he said, let us conduct a case study contest. We have conducted a case study contest where several companies participated. Then we finally shortlisted top 12 companies. Yesterday at UV School, they competed for the top 3 honors, first, second, third. And you will see today the 3 of them getting the recognition through Ram and Prabir here. And also you will see what these companies have done so unique about in their own organization when it comes to learning. At a special session tomorrow, these 3 organizations have been requested to share those insights here. So I'm sure I don't want to take much of your time. I would rather give that much of time to our thought leader present on the dais. They have enough to say. So I once again welcome you all, and I'm sure your experience for next 1.5 days will be meaningful and truly value for money. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Mr. Singh. Would now request Mr. Anand Pillai to set the context for the 4th NHRDN L&D Summit. Over to you, Mr. Pillai.
Good morning once again. It's my pleasure to both be of the same league as you all, learning together. One of the things that I personally cherish is the fact that learning never ends. I kind of upset a particular session where I was the keynote speaker as well as a valedictory function speaker in BITS Pilani. And just before I gave the certificates, I made a statement, and that statement, every degree of ours or every academic qualification of ours comes with an expiry date. And that is so in our life today. So when you look at the conference design that we have actually designed the entire program of learning outside the classroom. And to a large extent, many of us, we are used to one kind of learning, which is the learning in the classroom. That possibly was the most important part of learning until about 2-3 years ago. Come this age, we are having a bulk of our learning outside, and that's the reason why we have wanting to take advantage or leverage the ubiquitous nature of learning, and hence the design called five-way learning, where you can learn anywhere, learn anytime, you can learn any content, you can use any device, not just the computer or the classroom, and anybody can learn. In the earlier scenario, we had this classroom registration, we had nominations, you know, that kind of a scenario. But now learning has become truly democratic. Everyone can participate and really be in that curve and democratized learning. So that's where we have the overview. So if you look at day one, what we have done is, in the day one, we have put the front end part of the learning. So immediately after the keynote address and the inaugural address, we will be getting into looking at the emerging trends in learning. So it will be chaired by Akhil, but you've got people, we've got about 5 people there, and each one will be sharing what are the emerging trends as they have seen it. And we will be able to see where we are able to interface with that. Again, staying with the front end part of the training or learning, we will be looking at post-noon. We'll look at the emerging technology, or how technology is being leveraged to enhance learning effectiveness. So we look at gaming, we look at simulations. Gone are the days where people just sit in the classroom and just listen to lectures. They have to participate. They have to really project themselves into where they should be. So that's the post-noon session. And then, of course, the one after that is how learning happens informally. To a large extent, learning can happen as you're observing a particular event, learning through experiences, learning through our own practical observations, and how we can blend various parts of learning by, say, participating in an online course together as individuals, but then we can also read something about it and then come together in a classroom or in a formal setting to legitimize, if I may use the word, our informal learning, and how that is really becoming a big aspect. You know, in many of the companies that I work for, there is a big component called learning through incidents, or incident-based learning. A particular incident occurred, let's say an accident, what do you learn from that, and how we can take that forward. So we've got an eminent panel discussing that, and that will bring us to a close for this day. Tomorrow, we will go into the back-end part of the learning. So we'll look at my key or favorite word, ROTI, which is basically return on training investment. Everybody is thinking, they're going to give us ROTI. And if you have your ROTI definition in place, you will not be affected by recession. Typically what happens is, in any organization, when there is a recession or the downturn, the first department to get hit is the learning and development department. But I worked in IT companies, and I've had situations where whenever there is a recession, the training budget actually increases, because that's the opportunity for you to reskill and leverage the scenario that is there. But for that, you need to have your return on training investment well articulated, well thought of, so that you can really say, yes, now there's a downturn, let us invest in our people and take it forward. And then we'll also look at learning analytics, but not from an operational point of view, but predictive analytics. If we do this program, what will happen? How will the business be impacted? So measuring learning impact through ROTI and learning analytics is a session that is there in the morning. Then the afternoon, we will have, or so later part of the afternoon, we will look at again another back-end part, which is all these learning portals that are there, be it MOOCs, e-books portals or knowledge portals or even mobile learning portals? How are we going to